Part two. So, the Utah senator by the name of Mike Lee came up with a bill to ban pornography in 2025. It is called the Interstate Obscenity Definition Act. It seeks to amend the Communications Act of 1934 by providing a specific legal definition of obscenity for visual media. The definition should include um, material or content that appeals to sexually inappropriate interests related to sex and or excretion. Number two, if the content depicts sexual acts or lewd body parts with the intent to sexually arouse or gratify. Number three, if it lacks serious literary, artistic, political, or scientific value. It was introduced in 2025, and thank God it was introduced. So prayers are not in vain. It's God is hearing. However, it's 2026 and it's still in the status of being introduced, right? Not passed. So that speaks to the level of spiritual warfare in the USA. And just to get that pass, I don't know if it's going to take 100 years, considering, you know, um, they came over around 1763 for religious freedom, but 1863 we have the Emancipation Proclamation, um, and Civil War, and then 1963 the Civil Rights Movement. I'm hoping that things will speed up, but be aware that we do have individuals who they lack knowledge or they just love sin more than God. They love the money that they can get from pornography more than God, or the abuse or control that they can um, achieve um, with pornographic materials over an individual's life, like blackmailing them, pardon me. Um, they would do all these things and love that more than loving one another and receiving one another and wanting God's will for one another. Here in the USA, we have a lot of people like that. So please be aware of that. Um, if you are a married couple and you're in the USA, or if you have surveillance cameras around in your home or in your bedroom, um, also if you are a young person who is called to be married, something that you can do to protect both you and your spouse, especially when it comes to having sex or being intimate, is to have a canopy bed, right? You can get a canopy bed, invest in that. Um, it's there online. You can get it in different colors, or and the canopy bed I'm talking about, it's something that you would put around your bed. That's like, it has a top where it's black, the sides are black, and the other sides to it are black, right? The length and the width, it's black. And you have an opening where you guys can like go in, be on the bed, um, and have sex or be intimate without whatever hidden surveillance or surveillance in the room seeing. But then you also can get actually like a canopy bed and put like a thick type of um, canopy, and around it you can probably, if it's possible, put some curtains around it. Just don't murder your spouse while you guys are underneath it or covered by it, right? Um, So you don't want to suffer as a murderer. Okay, so you want to suffer for Christ, but not as a murderer. I have to say that. I know why I'm saying that, especially what I was led to. So anyway, so with this in mind, there are things that you can do so that you won't be seen. Because if you, let's say you go into the closet, or you try to stay in the dark, you have hidden surveillance cameras that can see, um in within the dark, right? They could see people moving around in the dark. um I would say invest in something like a canopy bed, or something with curtains around the bed, something like that. um that will help. All right. um there was a couple, um who, I believe they're from Texas, and they were in Manatee County at an Airbnb, and they found spy cameras. Um, in Florida, May 2023, two men were accused of watching a Florida couple being intimate, their intimate moments, after installing a security camera. The couple noticed that they logged on at certain times, and it was during the times when they were intimate or nude. Um, and then um, there was a Texas couple. Um, I believe they sued whoever it was in Maryland. They were at an Airbnb. They were in the restroom of this Airbnb and being intimate. And they found out that I guess the smoke detectors, there were an unusual amount of smoke detectors that they noticed. And then they found hidden cameras in there. So they were filmed being intimate. So be aware of these things. It does happen. It may not just happen here in the USA, it may happen around the world, especially where the country doesn't ban pornography. Um, and yeah, be aware of that. So please keep this in mind. Please pray for the bill to be passed, to ban pornography. Pardon me. Um, and keep in mind, you can get things to help cover you, because even if you decide to just cover you and your spouse under the sheets, they'll still film that and put that on a pornography. um, you have strange people that will do that. But if if there's a moment, and you're in your home, and you don't have a canopy, don't even have money to get all those things, um, and you're aware that someone is watching, please keep in mind First Peter 4 verse 16. Yet if any man suffer as a Christian, let him not be ashamed, but let him glorify God on this behalf. So if they try to use that content against you, and to make you feel ashamed, or you feel ashamed that it's exposed or out there, glorify God. Right? The way God sees it is not the way you should see it, or the way the manipulator or the blackmailer wants you to see it. And if you're in alignment with God's mind, and his mind supersedes all the thoughts on earth, or all the thoughts of the people, even Satan, then if he says glorify God, don't be ashamed. Don't be ashamed. Glorify God. Okay? All right.